to save 18-month-olds like Caden.
Exactly right. And you know, this is the time to do it. This is the time to get involved. You know, whatever it takes to finally put this to a stop. You know, a few years back, you never heard of stuff like this. Back in the 80s and the early 90s, nobody knew what meth was. You never talked about it. Nobody, you know, but it's an everyday thing now. And it's dangerous. We need to get involved with Unite, and these people are working hard to put a stop to this. But every day I've heard stories of people that picked up those bottles and it blew up in their hands and blew up on their faces. I have family that works at the hospital, and she's seen them being brought in, you know, burnt, just overdoses, everything in the world, young kids. What can we do to put this to a stop? Encourage us.
Well, you can contact your legislators. You can contact your state senator. We got the votes out of the Justice Committee in the Senate this last time. We did not get it past the full Senate.
Right.
We had promises from the House side, but the House never took up the bill because the Senate didn't pass it out.
Right.
So we need this legislation. We also need legislation to put some of these illegal pill mills out of business, these cash-only pain clinics that are just handing over prescriptions like Oxycontin and methadone and the Opana and the very powerful painkillers. We don't need people being able to pay cash for a prescription. It's just really very, very harmful. And, you know, we have them right here in our community, unfortunately, and we have to be proactive about it.
Let's talk a little bit about the treatment part. How can you treat people that's addicted to this? How can you wean them off of this? Do they have to go through a special hospital or what?
Well, depending on the drug they take, they first need to be detoxed.
Right.
If you take Oxycontin and you detox on your own, you're not going to die. Chances are you're going to feel like you are. You're going to want to, but you're not going to die. However, there are some other drugs like Xanax, the benzodiazepines. If you take those and you're addicted to them and you try to detox yourself, it can, you know, it can cause you to die. It's very dangerous to do that on your own. So you do need to be in a hospital when you detox from some of those drugs. But detox is not treatment. It's only the first step.
The first step.
So then, after you detox, you need to go into what we call a residential facility. We have some very good programs that we work with that are, some are 30 days, some are 90 days, some are year-long programs. Generally, the longer a person stays in treatment, the more successful their chances of recovery are. When they come out, they have to change the people they were hanging with. If their family has a drug problem, guess what? They have to walk off and leave them. They cannot be around individuals using drugs. They have to change all people, all places, all things that had anything to do with their former life that are still bad influences. So they have to be active in their recovery. We like for them to go to Celebrate Recovery and Lifeline and AA and NA, and those groups that fit them, that can help them stay sober. We support a lot of Celebrate Recovery and Lifeline groups at Unite. We'll buy them booklets, Bibles, recovery Bibles.
Very good.
And we need volunteers to help with those programs, so that's another way you can get involved. There's also programs for the families to learn about addiction and understand what their loved one's going through. When a loved one is addicted and he or she looks you in the eye and says, I'm going to do it this time, I'm going to stay clean and sober, chances are they're telling you the truth. They want to do that. But you have to understand the drugs that they're addicted to physically and mentally are so very powerful. You know, Oxycontin has the same reaction in the brain as heroin. It's an opiate. It's very good for individuals with cancer that have to have that drug, but addicts that get their hands on it, it's absolutely very dangerous too.
And it's so dangerous. People do not realize how dangerous these drugs are. You know, you might be a young person today, a teenager, and be around your friends and think, well, I'll try it once. I've heard of people that's tried it one time and their heart stopped. I've had family that's overdosed on prescription drugs. I've known people all my life that's been addicted to these things. We have to better educate our people. Stay away from this. Get away from this.
And we've got a couple programs coming up that we could use volunteers for. One is about methamphetamine. It's called One Step Misery, and we call it One Step Misery because you cook it in a one-step method. All methamphetamine is, and this most people have no idea, this kind of blows them away. All methamphetamine is pseudoephedrine, the cold medicine you buy over the counter, with one oxygen molecule removed. So the cooking process removes that oxygen molecule. And then at the end of the day, you have methamphetamine.
Right.
You know, Hitler used it during World War II with some of his soldiers. We know that. We have evidence of that. So individuals don't realize the potency of some of these drugs, and when they break it down and they cook it, the cooking process is very volatile. So we have a community education program where we will train the trainer. You could come to one of our Unite trainings, learn all about this program, and then go out into your churches and educate people about methamphetamine in a very informal setting. Let them ask as many questions as they want to, gather as much information, just so they know the signs of what to look for and what to stay away from, and what maybe is going on in their community where they live. There's another project that we're doing, we're kicking off this fall, called Addicted, A Dose of Reality.
Oh, so good.
It's a parent training, and it's for parents who want to know more about the drug problem. You can be the parent of a newborn, you could be the parent of a teenager, and this training is going to be for you.
Right.
It talks about the music our kids are listening to, the culture they have at school,